I will begin our class today with a poem. It's by one of my favorite authors, and I think it talks a little bit about what we're going to be exploring today. The poem says as follows. It's called Walking Slowly by Dana Foltz, and I'll include that information on our video afterwards. The poem states as follows. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going. That many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe and be, and walk slowly into the mystery. To walk slowly into the mystery is the capturing phrase to me in that poem, because it is a reminder of this place of stillness that I am speaking of. It's a place where this natural sense of rhythm, of being present, of being with life, almost as if you're just a piece of the puzzle and you fit perfectly in. And it's a sense of inner peace, it's a sense of serenity and equanimity. And so we will work on exploring that space. This morning, before beginning the meditation session, I did a lot of cleaning. And I was reminded of a story that was shared by an old teacher of mine a while back. And it's a story of a man that was looking for happiness, and he wasn't happy in the original story. This man came to a guru, and he asked him, "Guru, I am not happy." He said, I have all these things. I have all the financial, things that I need. I have this amazing family. I have all these things that people would want to be happy, and I'm still not happy. And so the guru told him, okay, how many windows are in your home? And he said, I'm not sure. It's a big mansion. So he said, I'm going to give you the homework of cleaning them every day. And so that's what he did. He cleaned every room and every window. And as he began to slow down, as he became aware of small tasks, small moments, as he became present with himself and with his breath and with life as it was showing up, he began to find contentment. And it is a natural sense of contentment that I speak of. A natural, and by natural I mean that it's a birthright. It's within you. It's the sense of contentment that we see in dogs when they haven't seen you for the long day, and all of a sudden they find you again and they're like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're here. Is that sense of contentment. It's the contentment that children have from moment to moment. It's just a natural joy, a natural state of presence with life where nothing is needed and all is had already. So we will explore what that is. And there are many roads that take us back home to this space of awareness. One of those roads is gratitude. When we follow the path of gratitude, then we are able to begin to explore this sense of natural contentment and this sense of natural rhythm with life. There is a pace, an inner movement to nature that I'm sure you can find if you walk there. And so we're going to explore these two experiences of this natural rhythm that is found within the breath, is found within silence. And so we'll explore what that is, as well as this inner sense of contentment, of appreciation for life and for this moment, and for the joy in the small moments, which, to bring it back to the story of the windows, he found joy in cleaning. I found great joy today in cleaning. Granted, there was really cool music in the background, but when I finally turned up the music and began to focus on the small tasks as I recalled my story, that was fun. Just one moment in time, the feeling of the hands scrubbing, the feeling of the breath following that rhythm. And so that's what we're exploring here. So good. Let me just make sure I silence my phone, you guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, so good. So we'll begin with meditation, and then we will open it up for questions. And I'd like you to consider, before we go into meditation, what are some steps that I can take in my daily life to slow down a bit? One way that I myself practice is when I drive. So let's say I have an appointment somewhere. If I can leave a little earlier, I do, so that I am driving at a natural, legal speed, right? That would be one. Another one is when you're walking out of the house to throw the trash. Use it as an example of, as a practice, of slowing down. Why do I need to go in a hurry? I'm speaking for myself today, for example, Sunday, I had to throw the trash away after cleaning. Like, what's the hurry? I have time. So let me slow down. Let me slow my pace. Let me really look around and pay attention to what is here. Why? What for? Well, to be present. And when we are present, we can fully appreciate what is here. That's the invitation of presence. To not only be fully present in your own life, but to also notice the moments that can inspire gratitude, and the moments that can inspire a sense of peace and natural contentment and natural belonging to life. That is another way of explaining that sense of natural rhythm. If I was a part of the wave in a large ocean, there's a rhythm that's already present within the waves. And can I just surrender to that feeling? Can I surrender to the rhythm of life right now around me, the sounds, the seat? Yeah. So we'll explore this a little bit more. Good. So I like to invite you now to settle down. You're welcome to turn off the cameras if you need to, and we'll begin. So begin by closing our eyes. And finding a comfortable sitting position. So let me repeat that. So we'll begin by finding a comfortable position. bringing the awareness to the breath. Allowing yourself to settle down in this moment. Nothing to do, nowhere to go, other than being present with your own body, your breath in this moment. And perhaps bringing the palms of the hands to the thighs or the belly, or somewhere where they feel comfortable and at ease. And bringing your awareness to the way the hands touch the surface upon which they are on. Sensing the fingertips. And the space between the fingers. The warmth of the palm of the hand. And the thumb. Noticing what happens to the breath when you pay attention there. And bringing the awareness back to the breath. Observing the breath as it is in this moment. Noticing how the breath comes into the body and exits the body. Simply noticing what is here. Noticing any thoughts. And allowing yourself to not cling or grasp the thoughts. Simply observing them almost as if they were clouds passing before you. Noticing the space between the thoughts and around the thoughts. Noticing the spaces of silence, of emptiness. And sensing the breath, returning to the place in the body where you can find peace or calm. Noticing where that is for you today. And allowing yourself to explore the breath from this place. How does it feel in this place within the body that is calm or peaceful? And observing the breath and the space between the inhale and the exhale. And sensing the palms of the hands, the way they touch against the surface. Getting a sense of what it really feels like. What are the sensations that arise as the palms rest on that surface? Does it feel like a tingling sensation? Does it feel warm or cold or neutral? Can I describe this without using thoughts? Can I simply observe the sensation of the palm of the hand? Can I feel and sense and know what is here right now? I'm observing the breath and the spaces between the inhales and the exhales. And noticing any sounds around you. And the spaces between the sounds. Can I hear without describing? Can I experience what is here, just as it is? And sensing the palms of the hand. And the sensations that arise in this moment as you observe what is here. The sound, the touch, the breath. In silence for a few moments, simply observing and returning to the breath as a way of grounding as you observe what is here. Surrendering through the exhale. Observing the space between sounds. The space between thoughts. The sensations of the hand. And the surrender of the breath. Can I let go of effort as I observe what is here. Can I surrender doing? Simply noticing effortlessly the breath in this moment, just as it is. Noticing the space between sounds, the space between the inhale and the exhale. Resting the awareness in space between the sounds and between breath. And begin to notice the wise self within you, the part of you observing you breathe, observing you as you listen to the sounds, as you observe the breath. Begin to notice the part of you that is aware of you as you experience what is here. sensing the wise self within you, the observer part of you, observing this moment, observing the space between the breaths, the space between sounds, allowing what is here to be just as it is. Gently becoming aware of the breath and the sensations of the palms of the hands, awakening, sensing the body, the energy within the fingers and the legs and the breath. Sensing yourself awake to life and present in the now. Sensing the wise self within you. Observing you as you begin to return into the present moment. Allowing yourself to return effortlessly. Gently opening the eyes allowing yourself to maintain a deep sense of peace and calm. As you begin to return onto the day or prepare yourself to go to sleep. Beginning to come back now fully into this moment and opening the eyes as you are ready. Please go ahead and write down your experience if you have something to write with. If not, simply holding the inner space of awareness of what you have just experienced. And so I'd like to open it now to any questions or comments that you may have. So would like to share, or any questions are certainly welcomed as well. Sandra, please. Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. So this was very extremely peaceful. Um, in the beginning, it was almost like I felt like a whirlwind. Um, like I was in a whirlwind. Like I felt like my mind racing, going like that until it finally calmed down. And then um, my mind was everything was very at peace, but I guess my question is, I almost feel like I was dreaming. So I'm not sure if I did fall asleep, which I normally don't during these sessions or anything, but I feel like in a way I was kind of like dreaming. I don't know.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Like I just had random it's hard for me to even remember right now. I guess that's part of the problem. I'm having
Yes.
trouble remembering the
Mhm.
experience, but I know that I dreamt like of I see it feels like a dream because it's like I was thinking of little things like the kids and um like everything's like in bits and pieces. It's hard to remember.
Interesting. So there's so much to say about that. A couple of things is, what comes to mind is in shamanic practices and also in yoga, dreaming and sleep is used a lot in the evolution of consciousness and awareness. Um, and the way I like to look at it is the imagery that I like of consciousness or of awareness is of an ocean. And the more you begin to come down the different layers of consciousness or the different layers of awareness, you begin to get into deeper places. And so at first, there are layers of thoughts or sensations or emotions. And as we begin to transcend those, we come into this deeper sense of self, which is what we were striving to connect to today. the higher self, the wiser self, the part of you that is observing everything as it's showing up. And so could you have fallen asleep? Of course. But to allow, number one, the experience to be as it is, perhaps not striving so hard to look into the past and what you went through, but just allowing yourself as you're coming back, almost like from that sense of sleep, what is showing up right now? What is here right now? You mentioned a deep sense of calm and of peace. What was that like for you?
Just stillness.
Mm-hmm.
Just very present.
Can you feel that now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So just sense that space for a moment and closing the eyes. And just really allow that experience to be very alive for you right now. And as it is from that place, connect to that observer within you. That place that knows. And from the place of knows, ask why that experience of dreaming was important for you today. And notice what shows up as an answer. And let that go. And come back to the place of stillness and peace. And return back into the room when you're ready. What did you notice?
Just for me, family, like my main in that I was observing my family. That's what came to me.
So if I may, so stay with this. When you're mentioning it now, it sounds like to me there was information given to you about that there's something important about family to go back to. So my invitation to you today would be, after our meditation today, just sit a couple of minutes if you have the time to journal more about that imagery. As I've mentioned often in our classes, we receive information from this deep place of awareness within us through imagery, through words, through a flash of information. And so this flash of information may have additional exploration for you to do today. What is it about family that I need to know? What was the feeling that was invoked within me as that imagery came through? So explore that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, who else would like to share? Come on now, don't be shy. Sisi, hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I think my mind was very peaceful, but full of thoughts, ideas, but peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the word anxiety. So it was showing the anxiety, the lack of many things, or one thing or many different topics. And one was the lack of the inner peace, the lack of stopping. And then there's, of course, other different things, protection, love, and things like that. But the main one, I think the one that started was the lack of being still, like you mentioned, the meditation. And I think that anxiety can be caused for if we don't know how to stop, just understand the surroundings.
If I may add to that, sorry, I can't hear you very well. Can you mention that last piece?
No, it was just being still. I think one of the causes of anxiety, and I think a lot of people go through that some point in time of life in different levels, is not being able to breathe, to be still, to be silent.
And so that word came to you in your experience today?
Yeah.
Good. So let me speak a little bit about that, if I may. Can I become aware of this information that my inner experience has provided today about anxiety? And when you mentioned the word, it was very interesting to me because what I feel called to tell you is, again, as I mentioned to Sandra, go back after our session if you have the time and meditate on that word or write about that word. What was it about the word? Because when you mentioned it, there seemed to be an energy that came with it. And can I experience anxiety or this lack of inner peace, as you said, without a sense of judgment, without a sense of determining whether it's good or bad, but just simply allowing in this moment anxiety, in this moment lack of inner peace. One of the opportunities that we have with something like that is the observing of what shows up as it shows up. For example, one of the meditative practices is to focus on the mind and focus on the thoughts. And as we are observing the thoughts, to simply notice thought, when the thought arises, another thought arises, thought. So we name it. And in the naming, we step away from the sense of judgment. It's simply observing pen. If I'm looking at my desk, pen, a pen is there. No need to add, as I mentioned in our last class. Simply observing what is here as it shows up. Anxiety. What is the experience of anxiety? Is it sensations? Is it, how does my breath, how does my body, how do I experience anxiety in this moment as it was showing up, but without a sense of judgment, without a sense of adding a story to it? I should not be anxious, for example. I want to be experiencing inner peace. It's a meditation. I should be having this experience. So if there is any sense of should, could, it's not, we want to step away from that. We want to come into a place of, can I be with what shows up with an open heart? One of my favorite quotes is from the Dalai Lama, and I can't recall the whole quote right now, but it essentially talks about having an open mind and an open heart. So how can I experience that? A sense of open mind and a sense of open heart and a sense of allowing what is here to be without grasping or defining it or causing it to be bad or good. Simply allowing it to be the experience that is happening right now. And you may notice that as you do that, you'll step into deeper places of inner peace and of calm without even striving for it. Remember how I mentioned at the beginning of our session today about a natural rhythm? There's a natural presence, a natural rhythm within you at the core of your being. And the more we can allow the mind to settle, the thoughts to settle, we begin to notice what is really there. The calm, the space that holds all things. It's always here, it's always present. And a lot of times what causes us stress is this inner fight with what is. This inner fight with, for example, if you're in a meditation, I don't want to be feeling this, right? I don't want to be feeling this anxiety. I don't want to be feeling a fear, let's say, that shows up, or an emotion that shows up. I want the meditation to be perfect or this experience to be perfect. Can I let go of that for a moment and just allow what is here to be as it shows up? Thank you, Sisi, for sharing. And please meditate on what we spoke about. Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to share before we close?
I'd like to share if it's okay.
Yes, hi, Tere. Hi.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
Thank you for the meditation.
Thank you, Sisi.
So I think my dog was one of the teachers with me in this meditation.
Yeah, doggies are master teachers. I know that for a fact.
I held the intention to try to slow down. And as I was being guided in the meditation, my dog started scratching the door, barking, kind of being needy. So I tried not to resist. And I let him in and everything. But he was keeping me, I couldn't fully go in deep because he was distracting me. So when he finally calmed down and I was finally going back to the meditation, it was literally like 2 minutes right before you were bringing us back. So I felt like, I held the intention to slow down, but an interruption happened, which is kind of like what happens in life. And then when I looked at the time had flown by, which was the opposite of what I was trying to do. I was trying to slow down, but everything went by faster.
Thank you for sharing that. So you are being taught about slowing down, and sometimes the teaching occurs by showing the opposite. So in this case, it's showing you what could be, what can be brought into awareness to learn from. So for example, distractions. And it goes very well with what I was mentioning to Sisi about anxiety. It might seem to us like there is this thing that we don't want to be there, right? Whether it was the barking like it was last week for me. There's this sense of this annoyance or the situation that we want to make perfect, that we want to take away of our experience. What is interesting, if you stay a little bit with it, is because we have an expectation of what we think a meditation should be like. For example, we expect the meditation to, well, I want to feel peace. So I'm here to feel peace. I want to do this meditation to feel peace. But perhaps the teaching is to become aware of what is here as it is here. If in this moment I am feeling anxiety, or I am feeling stressed, or I am feeling distracted, to experience that as it is, but with more ease. What brings the ease is not fighting it. So for example, the dog scratching. The dog is scratching. I can focus on my breath. The dog is scratching. I can focus on the space between my thoughts. The dog is scratching. I can focus on the sensations of my palms, as I mentioned in the meditation. Can I bring my focus from this to this? And so a part of meditation is the teaching of concentration. And so it might be a great opportunity to explore that. Go ahead, Teddy.
And I think I may have confused my intention with the expectation.
Ah, how so?
I mean, I intended to slow down and be at peace, but the reality is the complete opposite, but I still learned the lesson.
I love that. So we still learn the lesson even when the lesson is not brought in a perfect little square with a little bow on it. Right? Yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. That's like so on point. Thank you. I think we have time for one more question. Or maybe we'll just end it here. I like to wrap it up with, because as you know, I like to end on time to honor your schedules as well as mine. Notice how many moments you come into with an expectation. Whether it's, let's say, a lunch with a friend, right? How you're expecting that to show up. What you might be expecting the person to be like, what you might be expecting the food to be like, what you might be expecting today, the rest of the day to be like. The expectations that we hold about life and about people. Can I let those go? One of the practices that I have, for example, today, for example, I'm going to be having lunch with my mom. And so I have to cook her something, so it'll be fun. Is what occurs when I meet this person today as they come through the door, as if it were for the first time. How would I get to know them today, in this instant, if today was the first time I met them? And it's a fun experiment that I invite you to try today. Let's say you have to do laundry today. How can I experience laundry today as if it were for the first time? Can I allow this experience to show up for me in a brand new way without any preconceived notions or thoughts about it? I find that this particular experience helps me a lot in forgiveness, in getting to know the deeper aspects of people and situations, and you become aware of small little things that you might not be conscious of at other times. So today, bringing the homework for this week of slowing down, of can I catch myself when I'm moving too fast through time and space? Can I slow down and be present with this moment, with this person, with this task? Like, for example, when I'm going to cook, can I show up to the refrigerator without a plan? Just to allow the moment to be inspired in that instant. Can I, if I'm moving something, stirring something in a pot, can I stir it a bit gentler, a bit kinder, a bit slower? It's small practices like this that can add up to bigger things later, which is why I'm mentioning them to you. My intention is that mindfulness, a sense of being present with your life, be part of you in every instant, in every moment, whether you are mopping the floor or whether you are speaking to a loved one. That you be fully present with the life that is here as it is here, with an open mind and an open heart. I am grateful for you showing up today. And I send you all many blessings, and go about the day with more ease and gentleness. To slow down, to be kind to you. Let go of this concept of perfect moment, perfect life, perfect instant. Let what shows up be here. Other moments will come after that. All right? Blessings to all. Thank you all for coming today. Have a beautiful day.
You have a magical day.
Thank you. I like magical day. I like that.
Yes.
Goodbye, you guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Night.